Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said he met Sudan's army ruler Abdel Fattah al-Burhan at a regional summit in Nairobi on Tuesday, and that both committed to dialogue to resolve any differences. Their talks follow a clash in a volatile border region last month in which Khartoum said Ethiopian forces had captured and killed Sudanese soldiers, claims Addis Ababa denied. We have a lot of trouble in our region due to several factors, such as terrorism, extremism, cross-border crime, illegal migration, human trafficking, and the proliferation of illegal weapons. And all of those threats have a big impact on social and security situations. The African Union voiced alarm last week over the escalating tensions between Ethiopia and Sudan following the incident in the disputed Al-Fashaga border area.
African solidarity.
It is my duty as the president of the session to affirm that our discussions in the closed-door meeting today are strictly linked to the IGAD principles, which are based on the equality of sovereignty between all the countries and the non-interference in the internal affairs of the member states. The Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, is a 7-country regional body which brings together Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan and Uganda. This French Army Mirage fighter jet is getting ready to take off from a base in Niger. Its mission, to help secure a convoy ferrying logistics and equipment from Mali, where French forces were expelled by the authorities. In total, France must move from Mali some 4,000 containers and 1,000 vehicles, including hundreds of armored cars. The preparation of operations is done with the Nigerian soldiers, and this is really the tangible sign of the inversion of the partnership relationship, since they are the ones in command. At the Joint Operations Center in N'Djamena, capital of Chad, troops keep track of field operations in real time. France hopes to complete its withdrawal from Mali at the end of August. The French army is seeing increased hostility in the Sahel countries, where populations often accuse it of unwillingness to defeat militant insurgents. Attacks on military and civilian targets have increased in recent years. This withdrawal is going well, since we'll be able to carry out the logistical maneuver by relying on Niger, which means no duplication of Burhan in Niger. That's not the point at all, but a maneuver that will continue for months and months afterwards to disengage all the equipment that's currently in Mali. President Emmanuel Macron has said Operation Burhan would continue away from Mali, but in a smaller and reconfigured form. About 2,000 forces will stay in the Sahel, 3,000 troops less than the force's current strength. Animal markets in Sudan's capital Khartoum are teeming with livestock just days before Muslims mark Eid al Adha, or the Feast of Sacrifice. But the celebration comes at a time many in the country are struggling to make ends meet, and there are not many buyers. The market was stagnant, but the demand and mobility has increased a little few days before the Eid. The prices were more reasonable last year, but the increase in feed prices, fuel and transport costs, and the scarcity of animals has driven the prices up this year. A rapid acceleration in prices since February means many families are priced out of buying sheep. Sudan's economy has been characterized by high inflation and currency shortages for years. Sacrifice is a part of our faith, a great worship, and we're very willing to fulfill it. Prices are shaped according to political and economic developments in Sudan and the world. In the days leading up to Eid, sacrifice purchases are very weak. Prices are high, but there are also opportunities for citizens to buy sacrifices in installments or in other ways. Sudan, which is also considered as one of the central countries of animal husbandry in Africa, has more than 1 million livestock. Campaigns for the upcoming referendum on Tunisia's new constitution began on Sunday, but citizens are divided about the content of a controversial draft released last week. If approved later in July, the bill would entrench President Kais Saied's hold on to power, which began last year with the suspension of parliament. The bill proposes sweeping powers for the president while reducing those of the National Assembly. I will not participate in the referendum simply because it doesn't represent me. It is the constitution of one individual, of Kais Saied. Even the committee that was responsible for drafting the constitution, he didn't give it any attention. He just wants to be a dictator. Opponents have accused President Kais Saied of seeking to dismantle Tunisia's decade-old democratic experiment, while supporters argue that the head of state needs a strong mandate to deal with corruption and the country's troubled economy. I will accept this constitution, even if they consider it a coup. I support it. The most important thing is that there is an honest person. I support this constitution, or the coup as opponents call it. I will go to Sfax to participate in the referendum, and I agree with Kais Saied. We are with him in this victory over the Islamists. If approved, the new constitution would replace that of 2014, which radically cut the president's powers.
Zimbabwe will start issuing gold coins as legal tender in late July, its central bank said Monday, as the country battles to control runaway inflation that has considerably weakened the local currency. The inflation rate more than doubled last month to 191%, stoking memories of the hyperinflation of the 2000s that saw the Zimbabwean dollar redenominated 3 times before being effectively abandoned in 2009. The gold coins named Mosioa Tunya after Victoria Falls can be converted into cash. There have been mixed feelings over the news as Zimbabweans have an uneasy relationship with the central bank and its policies. In 2008, the year a $100 billion note went into circulation, Zimbabweans lost their savings, including pensions, when the Zimbabwean dollar crashed. Many in the country choose to keep their monies in their homes or under their beds instead of going to the bank.